Hello, everybody, and good evening. How are we doing? How are you feeling? Hi, JJ. I'm seeing you've just joined. Jay Z has just joined on TikTok. Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's another UKG live, and today we are carrying on, or we are going on, or picking up from the discussion we had yesterday regarding the ruthlessness of Amorim and INEOS. And today we are going to discuss about the club culture, how United have lost their culture, and how Ineos and Amorim are trying to rebuild the culture. As much as we are trying to rebuild the squad, we also have had issues with the club culture. We know that ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left, the culture has not been there. It has been eroded. We've lost the club culture. So, yeah, before we start, how are we doing? How are we feeling? How was your day? My day was good, quite eventful. Busy day at the office as usual, but I thank God I'm alive, I'm well, and I'm here to have this live with you. Yeah, Victor, thanks for joining. Medi254, thanks for joining. Johnny, thanks for joining. Yeah, and everyone who's joining, Josh254, good to see you again, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, so yeah, today we are going to talk about the club culture. And just before we jump onto that, I wanted to thank each and everyone who has followed the UKG squad, UKG community, who has joined the UKG community. I woke up today morning, and as you can see, the likes there, the follows there, we've surpassed the 3,000 follower mark. And that's amazing. Last night, before we ended the live, we had 3,002 followers on TikTok. Right now, we are on 3,345. And that's pretty amazing. I thank everyone. Salute to you. Also, the guys who are watching on X, the guys who are watching on Facebook, on YouTube. Karibu sana. Welcome to the UKG live stream. And I'm looking forward to these discussions. Discussion as usual. If you have a comment, if you have a suggestion, a question, feel free to post in the comment section. We usually go through the comments, we read them. I like appreciating the followers, the fans, the UKG squad. We are one big family. We are one big community. Yeah, brothers and sisters here, one big family. Yeah, and I'm already seeing comments coming through. Yeah, Josh254, you're saying good to see you too. Yeah, it's always good to see fans coming on, joining the discussion. And we always welcome new members. Feel free to click the follow button. Go to YouTube as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe. And as well as we got subscribers, we got additional subscribers on YouTube. Yesterday, it was quite a good day for the UKG squad, the UKG community. We keep growing. Remember that we have a campaign which is Road to 100 subscribers, as you can see on the top left. And right now we are on 82 subscribers. Yesterday we ended the live with 79. Right now we are 82. So we are only 18 away from getting 100 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed on our YouTube page, please make sure you go there, head over there. We are also live on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, click the like button. If you're on Facebook as well, make sure you follow, click the like. On TikTok, click the like as well. Yeah. So as I'm starting the discussion, I just want to make sure that we have everything set up. The comments, I can't see comments coming on through the live, but it has to work. It has to work. It can't fail us today. It simply has to work. We can't afford not to read comments today. Yeah, so hopefully now the comments will start coming in. Yes, so Billy Pablo, we've posted a comment there that Mamush is injured. He will not be available for the derby. Interesting. So Mamush is out. And Ryan, is it Ryan Chucky, or what's his first name? Chucky. He's also injured. Remember that Chucky said that he wants to kill United. So, yeah, if he's injured, good for us. probably good for us as United. So today we are going to have a discussion about the culture, the club culture. Yesterday we spoke about the ruthlessness we've seen with Amorim, with INEOS. INEOS have supported Amorim in terms of getting rid of passengers, getting rid of players that are not performing at the club. So today we pick up that discussion by now looking at the cultural issue at the club. Why the club has not been performing well, why the club has dipped since Ferguson left in 2013. We've had a revolving door of managers. We had Moyes, we had Van Gaal, we had Mourinho, we had Ole, we had Ten Hag, and now we have Amorim. And all managers that have come under Ferguson have not quite lived up to expectation, probably because the United job is too big, or because when Ferguson left, he also left with some aspects that were there. We know that before Ten Hag was appointed, and during his tenure, that INEOS were the ones who were running the club. Glazers were the ones who were running the club, and INEOS bought the club, and they bought part of the club basically. Sorry for giving the wrong information. So they bought part of the club. They got sporting control, and now we are seeing them handling matters to do with football. The Glazers are still the overall owners. They are the majority owners, that is. And INEOS now have come back, have come in to... why am I being distracted? Concentrate. So INEOS have come in and have started making changes in the sporting field, in the sporting aspect of the club. We know that before they came in, we didn't have a director of football, we didn't have a good recruitment team, we didn't have a good medical team, a good scouting team. For example, a coach would suggest a very young, exciting player. You remember Ole Gunnar suggested that we go for Erling Haaland. The club said no. We went for an older striker. For example, we wanted to buy young midfielders. We couldn't go for them. We go for players that will come and sell shirts. But now we've seen a change. Yes, a change in the club. Yesterday we spoke about the players getting rid of the passengers. Although it's not on, most of them are not on permanent deals. They've gone out on loan. So when Alex Ferguson was the manager, back then it used to be manager. Right now it's head coach. So Amorim is the head coach. Ten Hag, before he left, his role changed from manager to head coach. He used to have a way of working. He used to set standards, and it was followed throughout the club, whether it's by staff, whether it's by players, and things used to work. Why? Because he took a lot of time to set those standards, to bring up standards, to make sure that everyone is on the same page. For example, you are not bigger than the club. If you feel that you're bigger than the club, then we let you go. Another example is you have to work hard to get that position. If you don't perform, you go back to the bench, the next player comes in. And I'll give a good example. You remember someone like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You remember someone like Chicharito. They were never really starters, but they had a role in the squad, and they were comfortable with it. They were never making noise, never causing a fuss. Probably it's because social media was not a big thing back then, but still media was there. They could go out to the papers and give a story. It becomes a scandal, and they are sold. You remember that there are some players like Yapstam who gave quotes to a publisher, and it caused an issue with the manager, and eventually he was sold. You remember even Roy King had an issue with him where he spoke some words, he had some sort of behavior, and he was let go. You look at Ferguson. When he came in, there was a drinking culture at the club, and he rooted it out. He got rid of those players that were basically drinking and not performing well for the club. And now Amorim is coming in with the same standards. I'm going to highlight some examples of how Amorim is duplicating the United DNA. The United DNA has always been getting the youth to come in and play, having that courage, playing attacking football. But that has faded since Ferguson left, and we are seeing Amorim trying to do the same thing. When he was at Sporting, the first summer he got rid of around 17 players. and he got in young players, he got in exciting players, he trusted them, and they started winning. They had a winning mentality. We've lost that at United. You remember when Van Gaal left United, he said that the club is a commercial club, it's not a football club. The Glazers converted the club to be a money churning machine, to be a venture that generates cash but does not perform well on the pitch, does not win trophies. At the end of the day, football is a result-based venture. When you win matches, you win trophies, you get more money. But it came to a point where we were getting more of commercial deals. You remember there was a time United were announcing a lot of sponsorship deals compared to players. And it's good to see that now we are no longer concentrating so much on commercial deals. We are actually concentrating on the sporting aspect of the club. INEOS have come in behind the scenes. They've changed a couple of things. You saw them go for Dan Ashworth. It didn't work out. Immediately they got rid of him, and it's part of the ruthlessness we spoke about yesterday, although we didn't mention yesterday. But those are the kinds of moves that bring the United culture back. And I like what Tom Martin you're saying, that Manchester United sets the trend, and that's true. Back then, during Fergie's time, United was the reference point, not only in the Premier League or England, but also globally. Because United knew how to get commercial deals, had the good players, used to play academy players. There was a point where academy players or young boys would want to come to the club, even if they'll not get to the first team. They just want to have that history, that name on the CV that they once played for United. They go elsewhere and they perform. So INEOS have come in. They started by changing things in the background. We have Jason Wilcox, who's driving the sporting department. Omar Berada from Man City, he has come in, he has set certain standards. For example, we know that he has a 2-year policy on players. If you don't perform in 2 years or 2 seasons, then you're gone. That's why we saw players like Onana leaving. If you don't perform, you go. And I'm sure we are going to see more players leaving. So, for example, if Manuel Ugarte does not perform well, he's gone. We've seen him come and say the wage structure has to be within the limits. We can no longer be paying odd contracts, huge contracts on players. Jason Wilcox as well. He's known to be a person mostly who has dealt with academy players. We have Christopher Vivel, the head of the director of recruitment. He has come in and he's spotting talent. For example, Sedu Kone. That's a talent that normally United wouldn't go for. We are now tapping into those talents. You look at Diego Leon. Those are players that initially we couldn't go for. We would go for an established fullback or someone who's past it, pay them huge wages, pay huge fees, and in the next 2-3 years, nothing. Look at Rafael Varane. By the time he was joining United, his good days were past him. He was injury prone. Yes, he gave us a few good matches here and there. But compare Rafael Varane with Len Yoro. Len Yoro is the sort of profile that now United are going for. These are young, hungry players. Players that, yes, Len Yoro was quite expensive, 60-odd million. But you look at his age, you look at the salary he has come in with. Right now, if Real Madrid want to come in for him, they will either do the cheeky stuff they do of waiting for the contract to end, they get him on a free, or they pay up the cash. Right now, Len Yoro can't go for less than 90, 100 million. And that's the sort of thing right now we are changing the culture. You look at also Dogu. Dogu is a player that normally under Glazers, under Ed Woodward, we wouldn't go for. You look at the player right now, he's about to have his full first season, and he's performing well. You also look at the profile we went for, Cunha Mbumo. That's what United used to do. You remember we went for Michael Carrick from Tottenham. We went for Antonio Valencia. And these are players that came in with Premier League experience and immediately started performing. So on INEOS' side, they have really supported in terms of bringing back the United culture, where standards are set. even if Amorim doesn't work out, the next manager will come in and they will know that these are the standards we've set. That we are not going to go for high profile players all the time. We'll also go for young, hungry players. We also need to trust our academy. We've seen Johnny Evans being retained at the club to head the loan division. So he's going out there looking for loans that players will grow. You look at the players that have gone out on loan and where they are playing well. Like Vitek. Vitek is at Bristol City. He's already won the man of the month and of player of the month. He's got a couple of man of the match awards, and that's the sort of academy we want to have, the sort of progression we want to see in the players. So if we let go of Bayandia, it means that Radel Vitek will come to the club and he will perform well. So those are the standards we want to set. Our Amorim also is known to be a straightforward man. He's known to be a ruthless man. And I'm about to share a couple of instances where he has shown it in his early days at United. So as much as fans, as Manchester United fans, we are divided, we have to appreciate what Amorim is trying to do. And I believe he's the first and only manager that has tried to do this in the right way. Ten Hag, yes, came in with a bit of standards, but still it was against the United culture. Yes, he came in with standards like if you're late, you get fined, you have to eat the right way and all that. You remember back in Ferguson's days, the club was one community. The club used, the staff and the players and the academy players used to eat together, and it gave motivation for the young players to have a chat with big names like Roy Keane, like Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes. And at some point we lost that. I think under Ten Hag, it's when it was a complete split, where the academy players used to eat on their own, the first team players used to eat on their own, and the staff used to eat on their own. You look at Amorim right now, he's bringing that culture back where the players, or the academy players, the first team players, the staff, they're having a meal together, they have some team bonding. And you saw what he did with the academy players when we went to pre-season. Of course, some didn't play some games. For example, Sedu Kone didn't play. But having that atmosphere around players like Bruno, like Casemiro, is good experience. He gets to learn a lot. So Ruben Amorim is bringing that. And I just want to share one of his comments here, videos, one of his quotes, where he was asked about Rashford and why he's not playing, why he's not in the first 11, or why he didn't play at all. And that's and this is an example of how he's setting the standards. Yesterday we said that Amorim won't keep you if you don't perform, won't keep you if you don't work hard, and we've seen it already. With the bomb squad leaving, we've seen it already. Onana was given his chance. That chance is gone. So, yeah, let's have a look at this video where Amorim is speaking about Rashford. I just hope I won't get flagged. Sometimes these live streams usually mess us up. So, yeah, let's have a listen to this.
You mentioned Highland, obviously, struggling with the goals. Xerxes struggling with goals as well, won 14 games. Is there any way back from Marcus Rashford? He's obviously got a proven record, but he's not been in your team for, I think, 11 games now.
It's the same. It's always the same reason. So.
What is that reason?
The reason is the training, the way I see what a footballer should do in training, in life, and is every day, every detail. So if things don't change, I will not change.
So if he's still here after the window closes, the same situation?
It's the same situation for every player. If you do the maximum, if you do the right things, we can use every player. And you can see it today on the bench. We miss a little bit like pace to go, to change the game, to move some pieces, but I prefer like that. I will put Vital before I put a player that don't give the maximum every day. So I will not change in that department.
Yeah, exactly. That's Ruben Amorim when he was asked why Rashford is not playing. And you can see the quote there. Let me just bring it back. He says that I will put Jorge Vital before I put a player that doesn't give maximum every day. And that's part of the culture we need back at United. That's part of the culture we need back. If you don't give your maximum in training, you don't give your maximum during the game, you are gone. You remember yesterday in the live I said, the media or the fan FC will come up and say that United are making a mistake. We are making a mistake of letting these players go, because whenever they go to another club, they perform. And I said, most of the time, when a player leaves the club, they go out on loan or they transfer to another club, they find that things are different. Standards are different. If you don't train, you don't play. If you don't perform, you're sold. And yesterday we had one of our UKG squad members write a very good comment that a player that went to Chelsea, went there, he found that the training is very, very vigorous, very tough, and he was told, welcome to Chelsea. And I said, most of these players that we are letting go, most of these players that are leaving the club were not giving their maximum, because they knew at the end of the day they are superstars. They'll be given the shirt number, they'll be given the squad number, they'll be in the starting 11 and they'll play. And you see what Amorim has done there. He gives you the chance. If you don't perform, you don't play. Yeah, you don't play at all. And I like what Lenny Oro said here. Lenny Oro said, in training, it's really, I will say, hard, because it's important we have a lot of training. And for him, that is Amorim, training is really important because you play the game as you train. The most important thing is to be really good in training. If you are not working, if you are lazy in training, he won't like you. He will kill you. It's normal because, you play like you train. And this is a young player who just joined United last season. And you see what he's saying about Amorim, a coach who joined midway. That if you don't train, he won't like you. This is the sort of standards, the sort of culture that needs to be at the club. And we lost that along the way. After Ferguson left, we lost that. A good example is Ten Hag. He would prefer to play Anthony ahead of Ahmad. And Ahmad was clearly and is clearly a better player than Anthony in the Premier League. Anthony was unable to handle the physicality, the pace of the Premier League. Ahmad comes in, performs. Fine, he has had a dip of form recently, but Ahmad, we know he's better. He was better. But still, preference. So, if a coach shows players that sort of culture, that sort of behavior, that sort of favoritism, what would make a player like Anthony train hard? What will make a player like Anthony put in a shift during training, during a game? You remember that game we were playing against Liverpool? He played Anthony as a left back. So the culture needs a reset, and it's starting. It has started. And as much as we say that it's the formation, it's the coach, there is a bigger issue in terms of culture. Fine, Sir Amorim, don't reset the culture, don't have a culture, don't have standards, don't have expectations. The next manager will fail. There has to be a set of standards. There has to be a set of ways that as a club we do. An identity. Manchester United have lost their identity since Ferguson left. You look at Real Madrid. They bring in managers, they succeed. Why? Because there are a certain set of standards. You look at even Premier League level. Arne Slot has come in, same set of standards. Same set of expectations. They are performing. You look at Chelsea. They've had multiple managers. Same set of standards, the managers win. If they don't perform, they are sacked. So those are clear examples of how Ruben Amorim is resetting the culture. And you look at also this one, Amorim's new rules. And this was posted in 3rd August 2025, in just when we were in pre-season training. If you don't train the right way, the previous one was Lenny Oro, and he was speaking in February 6th, 2025. Just a few months before. And this is recently, last month, said, if you don't train in the right way, I have footage to show you, and I show you in front of everybody. So I'm always on top. So there is no running away from responsibility. There is no hiding. Because you will be exposed during a game. You will be exposed. So if you don't train, we'd rather show that footage in front of everyone. These are the guys you'll be playing with on the pitch. The fans will be in the stadium. They'll be watching you. They are paying tickets. Most of us are not lucky enough to go to watch matches. But some of us, we still pay to watch United play. We pay subscriptions for pay TV. Some use internet. We use internet to watch the matches and still pay subscriptions. So it's painful to see a player being a passenger during a game. They are not putting in a shift for the badge. And this is the sort of culture, this is the sort of rules I'm saying. We are rebuilding a culture. Amorim is rebuilding a culture. And this is a script he has already gone through at Sporting. Yeah, I know there are guys who are Amorim out, there are guys who are Amorim doubt, there are guys who are Amorim in, but we have to get a middle ground where we say, as much as the manager might or the head coach might make mistakes, the underlying issue, the biggest issue we have at United is we've lost our culture. We've lost our way. So even if we sack Amorim and we don't sort that out, then we'll still have the same issues. So let's go through some of the comments before we head on to the discussion. Tom Martin, I'm sorry I didn't welcome you. I think it's the first time you're joining our lives and commenting. Karibu sana to the UKG community. Yeah, you're saying exactly. Then you go on and say that I've been a United fan since 03-04 season. Yeah, a long time fan. That's how many years? 19 years? No, 21 years. Yeah, 21 years. 20, yeah, that's a long time fan. 21, 20, 22 years. That's a long time fan. Then you say United will finish top 6 this season. I'm also hopeful, although yesterday in the top 4 predictions I was asked, I'm not as optimistic in terms of getting top 6 because teams have had better recruitment than us. Where my issue is in the midfield area. So let's see how it goes. Probably things will shape up by December, January. Who knows? We might make it top 6 or even surpass expectations. So you are saying Bruno will be our legend, by the way. Yeah, he will. Bruno, as much as we slate him, I'm also a culprit of slating Bruno. We only get to appreciate what we had once we lose it. So when Bruno leaves the club, it's the time now we start appreciating how Bruno is good. Bruno is a really, really good player. We can't perform well when he's not on the pitch. Bruno has to play. You look at the Grimsby game, it shows you how Bruno is important to the squad. He makes mistakes, yes, but the benefits outweigh the mistakes. The benefits of having Bruno playing outweigh the mistakes he has. Yes, he might have wayward passing. He might lose the ball a couple of times. He might over-dribble at times. But you look at the creativity, the chances he creates, how he makes the midfield click. Yeah, Bruno reminds me of Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick is a player that we didn't quite appreciate until he left the club. And you look at the situation we are in right now, we've never really replaced Michael Carrick. And he's a player that once he left, we started seeing a huge gap, a huge hole in the midfield. I think you're referring to Martin. You're referring to Rashford. Yeah, he wasn't giving his maximum, and the coach said it there. And one thing I like about Amorim is he will defend you. When it comes to the media, he'll defend you. We've seen him defend Onana. He'll defend you. But if you don't perform, then he will come out and say you're not performing. I like his frankness. I like how he's straight up honest. He says that it's as it is. Then you said we set the trend. Don't worry about that. Yeah, we did, but at times we get too comfortable. Whenever you're at the top, you might get too comfortable and think that other people will not catch up. That has happened. Clubs have caught up with us, surpassed us. Now we are the ones who are playing catch up. And yesterday we mentioned about the media bias, and you can see they are not happy seeing United catching up. They are not happy seeing United trying to make moves to get back to the top. So, and one thing I will say is I'm very disappointed with our fan base, with the United fan base. We eat our own. We are fighting amongst ourselves as fans. I don't know whether it's because plastic fans infiltrated the club, or we have people who are using United to make a buck. The blue tick gang on X, the podcasts, they thriving on negativity. So who knows? Probably they are not true United fans, and they are happy to see us fail. As I said a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of days ago, that it is sad to see that we've signed a young, exciting goalkeeper, and you see a fan run channel or a fan run X page posting a compilation of how the goalkeeper makes mistakes. Of course, every keeper will make a mistake. They will fumble, they will cause a goal, they will have a howler, but human is to error. They will have mistakes. The only thing we don't want is to have a keeper who makes mistakes every other game. Even the top keepers like Neuer, like Courtois, they've made mistakes, but they are still top keepers. But to see United fans taking their time, or a United fan supposedly or purportedly being a United fan, taking their time to create a compilation of how the goalkeeper is making mistakes, no. I've seen a video being resurfaced about someone saying us getting Amorim is a huge mistake. We are no longer a big club. So as fans, we are also not doing a good job. We are against each other. We don't seem to support the club. Some of us support players. Some of us support the manager. Some of us support the club. So it's different. And the thing about groupthink is you can't control how people think. You can't control how people react. But at the end of the day, I keep saying we don't care whether we get a 90 million pound player or a 1 million pound player. I just want us to win. I don't care whether it's Amorim. I don't care whether it's any manager. I don't care whether it's even Ronaldo who retires and comes and coaches United, or Rooney. I don't really care who the manager is. All I want is United to win. Whether it's Amorim, whether it's someone we don't know of. Yeah, and if Amorim doesn't perform when he's sacked, well and fine. We thank him for the time at the club. He has done a good job so far. The results didn't come. We wish you all the best. We don't have to. We don't have to be divided. Honestly, we don't have to be. We need to support the club. So, Tom Martin, you are saying, what do you think of our next fixture? We will have a preview on. When's the game? Is it Sunday? We'll have a preview on Saturday or Friday, depending. And my thinking is, I think we'll beat City. I don't know why I have that feeling. I think we'll beat City. The way the team is playing, I'm hopeful that we will beat City. I have that gut feeling that we'll beat City. Because City also are not quite settled. As you've seen, two of their key players are injured. Who knows, probably one of them will come back. And most of our players haven't played in the internationals. They've had time to train. So There's a big chance we will beat City. Mohammed, hi, how are you? How are you doing? It's good to see you. One of our regulars on the show. It's always good to see you. MKY, you're saying, but we are creating so many chances, but we lack the finishing. MKY, first of all, welcome to the UKG community. I believe it's your first time tuning in and commenting. So it's good to see you. It's always good to see new followers, new fans, or new watchers, new commenters. It's always good. Welcome. Feel at home. Yeah, we are creating a lot of chances. If you look at the stats, sometimes the stats are not a good reflection of what actually happens on the pitch. But you look at the stats, and it shows you that United are outperforming every other team when it comes to the attacking phase of the game. More XG, more shots on target, more shots off target, more chances created. So it's a matter of time before they start going to the back of the net. And as I said a couple of weeks ago as well, United have been quite unlucky. To be honest, we've been quite unlucky so far this season. How many times have we hit the post? How many times have we hit the crossbar? How many times have we had a simple tap-in, but the ball goes over the bar? You remember Sheshko during the Grimsby game. It went over the bar. So, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so we will start scoring. We will start performing well. It's only a matter of time, especially when Sheshko gets full fitness. Mbumo, we've seen that he's already performing well. He's starting to get into his groove. We saw that he scored against Burnley. He gave 2 assists in the international break last week. So, yeah, I agree with you. We are creating chances, but we lack that finishing, and it will come. It will come. And then you go on and saying both the eye test and stats show the quality of chances created. Exactly. You also look at how United have played the last 3 games in the Premier League, also in the Grimsby game. We've had more possession than the opponent. We've had more duels won, aerial duels, 50-50 balls. We are starting to press well. We are starting to win those chances. We are starting to win those balls. We are pressing well. It's just that if you look at whenever we concede, we usually concede whenever we have a lapse of concentration. Whenever United players lose that concentration, then we concede goals as well as goalkeeping mistakes. Hopefully Lamens comes in and sorts out all that. Yeah, he won't be perfect when starting. Who knows? He might be perfect. He might start getting clean sheets straight away. But yeah, goalkeeping mistakes have also messed us up. You look at that Arsenal game. What if the keeper was stronger? Could have been a draw, could have been a win. Yeah, so as I said, we are a bit unlucky. As much as we don't want to admit, luck is also part of the game. Yeah, so the culture has to be the right one. We have to have the right environment for players to come in. Part of the reasons why the managers we've had, head coaches, the players we've had come in and don't perform is also because of the culture. The culture has not been right. It has been a toxic environment. Players have also been going against the club. We know that there are some players who are leaking news, who are leaking lineups, who are leaking confidential discussions and information to the media. Players having their own set of ways going to social media and posting cryptic messages. And these are things that never used to happen under Ferguson. Amorim is setting the record straight. Yeah, so if you see a player posting a cryptic message or going against the club, I'm sure you'll see them being sold. And it won't matter whether they are a star player, they are an academy player, they are an upcoming player. They will leave the club. And that's what I want to see. Yesterday I said, if Kobe wants to leave, he does not want to play for the club. He no longer wants to play for the club. So be it. It's sad, it's painful, but at the end of the day, it's United. It's Manchester United. It's bigger than him. If he wants to stay and fight for his place in the starting 11, why not? Stay, fight for it. The position won't be handed to you. You can't say you want to leave the club to play because you want to represent England. Yeah, of course, it's a big deal playing in the World Cup. But at the end of the day, the World Cup is one tournament in 4 years. So will you jeopardize your chances at the club just because you want to play in the World Cup? Of course, as I said, it's a big deal. This is a big decision. Look at your age. How many World Cups can you play? There is also a risk you might go to another club and still you won't be called up to the World Cup. How many players are performing well? They are called to the national team, but they don't play. So, yeah, you might get a call up to go to the World Cup. Then you don't play even a single game. And you've burnt bridges with your club. So, as much as we want Kobe to play, he also needs to fight for his position like every other player. And also the coach needs to be straightforward and tell them why they are not playing. And also don't show favoritism. We still have a lot of games to play. We need players to rest. And I keep saying that we shouldn't be that the starting 11 are a good squad and the ones on the bench are rubbish players or they are not good players. We need good options on the bench as much as the ones are starting. You remember back then, we used to have likes of Jisun Park on the bench. And he's a good player. He comes in, he performs. You look at Chicharito on the bench, good player. Comes in, I was watching one of the historical matches on MUTV. And Chicharito came in the Aston Villa game. We were losing 2-0 and he scored a hat-trick in the second half. So why can't we have those options now? Players like Zaxi, he's okay being a squad player. He's okay not starting every other game. But when he comes in, you see he's performing. Like when he came in the Burnley game, he completely changed the game. So as much as we want good options in the starting 11, we also need good options on the bench. It's not a must for, let's say, Cunha and Mbumo to start all games. They also need to rest. They'll also get injured at some point. Mbumo will leave to AFCON. Ahmad will go to AFCON. So do we look at the bench and start worrying now, how is this player going to play and he's not good enough? You look at other teams, you look at City, you look at Liverpool, you look at Arsenal, they have really good options off the bench. They have really good options. You look on the left, they have Madueke, they have Martinelli. Those are good options. Why can't we have the same? Doesn't mean that every player needs to be poor or a bad player on the bench. No. So, yeah, that was our discussion today. So the last part of the live is usually just general talk. If you guys have any questions, any comments, any suggestions, please let me have them. Let me know what you think about the culture. Do you think we are on the right path? Do you think Amorim is doing a good job despite not winning matches? Because at the end of the day, the culture needs to be right. The environment needs to be okay. And INEOS and Amorim are, to me, so far so good. Mistakes will always happen. Even ourselves, whenever we go into a new venture, we are setting up a new project, we'll make mistakes. But let not focus on the mistakes. Also, let's focus on the small wins, the big wins we are getting. So, yeah, as I mentioned, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everyone who's logged in, who's tuned in, who's given the video a like. I'm seeing on TikTok we have 1.4k likes. That is amazing. We've now gotten to 3352 followers out of 4,000. Our next target is 4,000 followers. On YouTube, yesterday we ended the live at 79 subscribers. Right now we are on 82. So also we have the road to 100 on YouTube. So make sure you go there. You like the stream, you hit the subscribe button and tune in for more. So yeah, that's it for today. Let me read a couple of comments as well as appreciate the fans who joined the squad, who joined the stream. MKY, you're saying, I'm just worried about the away games. We have performed abysmally. Yeah, the away games, we haven't been good, but at least the performances are showing that we are okay. You look at the Fulham game, the players just, I think they got tired or they lost concentration. We conceded that goal. You look at the chances we had a couple of chances. We could have scored a couple of goals and killed that game. One thing I want to see change with the United squad is the mentality aspect. We tend to lose it at some point of the game, especially when we are heading towards halftime and full time. We tend to lose concentration a bit. You look at the first 15-20 minutes of the game, we perform quite well. We get a couple of chances. If we can get into a situation where in the first 15-20 minutes we score a goal or two, then we can completely dominate the game, as well as now we have a new keeper. Bayandia seems to be now getting into form, because we know he didn't play quite much the last season. Who knows, probably he'll start getting in good performances. Then you say the Fulham game was an example we deserve to lose than to win. I really don't think so. If you look at the first half, the first especially 15 minutes, Fulham were unable to manage United. Fulham couldn't handle United. It's just that we couldn't score. We didn't score. Hence the draw. Look at also the Burnley game. Outplayed them first 15-20 minutes. And then after that, we allow the teams to come back in. So if we can get into a situation where we maintain those levels the entire game, then United will be difficult to handle. And of course, we have to understand that when the season starts, there is a bit of rustiness, there is a bit of tiredness that comes in. But as the season goes on, teams and players start picking up form, they start picking up a rhythm. We also need to understand that the front three is very new. Cunha is new, Mumo is new, so they haven't really played with most of these players, or they've not played a couple of minutes with them. So as time goes, we will improve. So the one game I would say definitely we didn't deserve to win is the Grimsby game. Even if we won on penalties, it will have been the best team lost. Because Grimsby outplayed us, they outran us, they outclassed us, the manager outcoached Amorim. So, but the Fulham game, the lapse of concentration, we concede, not taking our chances. Yeah, and the good thing is it seems Cunha and Mount are fit. So let's see how the City game goes. We'll do a preview very soon. So thanks a lot to everyone. Let me appreciate the guys who are with us. Billy Pablo, you are there. Josh 254 recently followed, our new follower. He followed yesterday. He's joined the squad. Tom Martin, thanks very much, with a couple of comments. Then we had MKY also coming in, joining the live, sending a couple of chats. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for being with us. I hope you do have a lovely evening. Cheers, and have a blessed night. See you soon.